You just signed a $50 million contract. You're set for life, right? Wrong. In 5 years, you'll be broke, filing for bankruptcy, and selling autographs at a mall in Newark. And it's not because you're stupid, it's because nobody told you how money actually works when you make that much of it. My name is Todd, and I spend way too much time thinking about why people who make more money in 1 year than most families will see in 10 generations somehow end up completely bankrupt. If you're someone who's ever wondered how in the world someone making millions can lose it all, or if you just want to make sure you never make these mistakes if you ever get rich, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Here's the thing, when we see a headline that says, "Former NBA star files for bankruptcy," or "Actor who made $100 million now broke," our first reaction is to think they must be idiots. They must have just blown it all on cars and chains and parties, right? And yeah, sometimes that's part of it. But here's what most people don't realize. The way money works when you're making $50 million a year is completely different from how it works when you're making $50,000 a year. And if you don't understand that difference, the system will eat you alive. Let me show you exactly how this happens. The $50 million trap. Let's say you're a professional athlete and you just signed a 5-year, $50 million contract. Congratulations! You're rich. $10 million a year. Except you're not getting $10 million a year. Not even close. First, the IRS is taking their cut. You're in the highest tax bracket, which means you're paying 37% federal tax. That's $3.7 million gone immediately. Then you've got state taxes. Let's say you play in California, that's another 13.3%, so another $1.33 million. We're already down to about $5 million. But wait, there's more. Your agent. They're taking 3 to 5% of your contract. Let's say 3%. That's $300,000. Your financial advisor wants 1 to 2% of your assets under management. Your lawyer needs a retainer. Your publicist wants their fee. Your trainer, your nutritionist, your personal chef, all of these people are on payroll now because when you're making this kind of money, you need these people to maintain your career and your image. Now look, we're not even counting your actual living expenses yet, and you're already down to maybe $4.5 million of that original $10 million per year. Still a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But it's less than half of what the headline said you were making. This is where it gets interesting. Lifestyle inflation isn't what you think. Now you might be thinking, okay Todd, but $4.5 million is still an insane amount of money. How do you blow through that? And you're right to ask. Here's the thing though, you don't just blow through it. You commit to spending it before you even get it. When you sign that contract, everyone around you changes. Your family expects things. Your friends expect things. Your agent is pushing you to live the lifestyle because it's good for your brand. And brands want to work with you, but only if you look like you're worth $50 million. So you buy the house. Not a nice house. A mansion. Because anything less and people will think you're struggling. That's $8 million right there. But you finance it because your advisor says real estate is an investment. Your mortgage is $40,000 a month. Then there's property taxes. Another $15,000 a month. Insurance, maintenance, a staff to maintain it. You're at $75,000 a month just for the house. Then the cars. You can't roll up to practice in a Honda Civic. You need the Lamborghini, the Range Rover, the classic car for the collection. That's another $500,000, financed of course, because you want to preserve your liquid cash. Monthly payments? Another $15,000. Here's what most people don't realize about celebrity spending. It's not stupid spending. It's expected spending. When you're in that world, these things aren't luxuries. They're requirements. You need to look successful to stay successful. The brand deals, the endorsements, the opportunities, they all come because you look like you're worth $50 million. But here's the problem. You're spending like you make $10 million a year, but you're only actually keeping $4.5 million a year. And we haven't even talked about the real killer yet. The entourage tax. This is the part that nobody talks about. When you get rich, you don't just get rich alone. You bring people with you. And I'm not talking about your agent or your publicist. I'm talking about your cousin who needs a job, your high school friend who's managing your social media, your uncle who has a business opportunity. There's actually a term for this in professional sports. It's called the entourage tax. Studies have shown that for every dollar a professional athlete makes, they're supporting an average of 7 to 10 people financially. That's parents, siblings, extended family, childhood friends, and hangers-on who suddenly appeared when the money showed up. Now you might be thinking, well, can't they just say no? And the answer is, technically yes, but realistically no. Because here's the thing, if you grew up poor or middle class, and you're suddenly making millions, there's this overwhelming guilt. Your mom worked 3 jobs to support you. Your brother helped you when you had nothing. Your best friend was there when nobody believed in you. How are you supposed to look them in the eye and say no when they need $5,000 to fix their car or $20,000 to start a business? So you say yes. And then you say yes again. And again. And suddenly you're supporting your entire extended family, and that's another $500,000 a year right there. Plus the business investments your friends pitch you, the restaurant that fails, the clothing line that never launches, the tech startup that goes nowhere. You're not writing these off as losses. You're calling them supporting your people. This is where it gets really dangerous. The assumption of forever. Here's the psychological trap that destroys most high earners. They assume the money will keep coming. You just signed a 5-year, $50 million contract. In your mind, you're thinking, I'm 24 years old. I'll play until I'm at least 35. I'll sign at least 2 more contracts after this one. I'm going to make $200 million in my career. Easy. But the average NFL career is 3.3 years. The average NBA career is 4.5 years. 1 injury, 1 bad season, 1 falling out with a coach, and it's over. And even if you do play the full 5 years of your contract, there's no guarantee you'll get another one. But you've already committed to the lifestyle. You've bought the house, the cars, you're supporting 10 people. You've invested in 3 failing businesses. Your monthly expenses are $150,000. That's $1.8 million a year just to maintain your current life. And remember, you're only actually keeping about $4.5 million per year after taxes and fees. So you're saving maybe $2.7 million a year if you're disciplined. Over 5 years, that's $13.5 million saved. Sounds like a lot, right? But that has to last you the rest of your life. You're 29 years old when your contract ends. You've got 50 years left to live. That $13.5 million needs to generate enough income to support your $150,000 a month lifestyle for the next 50 years. Do the math. That's $90 million you need. And you've got $13.5 million. Now look, this is where most celebrities make the fatal mistake. Instead of cutting their lifestyle, they try to make more money to maintain it. The bad investment spiral. When your playing career ends and the contracts stop coming, you panic. You've got a lifestyle to maintain, people depending on you, and your savings are dropping fast. So what do? You invest. But not in boring index funds that return 8% a year. No, you need big returns fast. So you start saying yes to everything. Your buddy's cryptocurrency scheme? Sure. Here's $500,000. That restaurant chain franchise opportunity? Why not? Another $1 million. Your financial advisor's exclusive hedge fund? Absolutely, $2 million. That real estate development deal in a market you don't understand? Let's do it, $3 million. Here's what most people don't realize about these opportunities. They're not pitched to you because they're good investments. They're pitched to you because you have money and the people pitching them need it. And because you don't actually understand finance. Why would you? You've spent your whole life mastering a sport, not studying balance sheets. You can't tell the difference between a good opportunity and a scam. Studies show that 78% of NFL players are broke or in financial distress within 2 years of retirement. 60% of NBA players are broke within 5 years. And it's not because they're dumb. It's because they're in a system designed to extract wealth from people who don't understand how wealth actually works. The tax bomb nobody warns you about. Here's another thing that destroys celebrities financially. Deferred taxes. When you make $10 million in a year, you owe taxes on $10 million. But a lot of athletes and celebrities structure their contracts with signing bonuses and deferred payments to reduce their immediate tax burden. Sounds smart, right? Except when your career ends and you're no longer making millions, you still owe taxes on the money you made years ago. I've seen cases where someone made $30 million over 3 years, spent $25 million maintaining their lifestyle, and then got hit with a $5 million tax bill 3 years after they retired. They've got $2 million left in the bank, and they owe the IRS $5 million. Congratulations! You're now bankrupt. And the IRS doesn't care that you're broke. They don't care that you were supporting your family. They don't care that your advisor told you it would be fine. You owe the money, and they will take everything you have to get it. This is where it gets interesting, and this is the part that applies to everyone watching, not just celebrities. The real lesson: it's not about how much you make. Here's what most people don't realize. Going broke making $50 million a year is the exact same psychological mistake as going broke making $50,000 a year. It's just bigger numbers. The core problem is the same. You're spending based on your gross income instead of your net income. You're assuming your current income will continue forever. You're supporting more people than you can afford. And you're making investments you don't understand because you're desperate to maintain a lifestyle you can't actually afford. If you make $50,000 a year and you're spending $55,000, you're going broke. If you make $50 million a year and you're spending $55 million, you're going broke. The principles are identical. The difference is, when you're making $50,000 and you overspend by $5,000, you go into credit card debt and it sucks, but you can recover. When you're making $50 million and you overspend by $5 million, you lose everything. The house gets foreclosed, the cars get repossessed, and you're filing for bankruptcy. What you should actually do. So here's what you need to understand if you ever come into serious money. Whether it's from a career, a business exit, an inheritance, whatever. First, understand your real take-home. Not what the contract says. Not what the headlines say. Your actual take-home after taxes, fees, and required expenses. That's your real number. Second, live on half of it. I don't care if that sounds impossible. If you're taking home $5 million a year, live on $2.5 million. If you're taking home $500,000, live on $250,000. The other half gets invested in boring, diversified, long-term holdings that you don't touch. Third, assume your income ends tomorrow. Because it might. Build your lifestyle around the assumption that whatever you're making right now could disappear at any moment. Can your investments generate enough to support your lifestyle if you never work again? If the answer is no, your lifestyle is too expensive. Fourth, stop supporting everyone. I know that sounds harsh, but here's the thing. You can't save everyone. You can help people strategically, but you cannot be the bank for your entire extended family and social circle. The moment you try, you guarantee that you'll end up broke and unable to help anyone, including yourself. And fifth, and this is critical, only invest in things you understand. If someone is pitching you an investment and you can't explain it to a 10-year-old, don't do it. Index funds are boring. Real estate you can see and touch is boring. These things are boring on purpose. Boring is how you stay rich. The bottom line. Here's the thing about celebrities going broke. It's not a story about stupidity. It's a story about a system that's designed to extract wealth from people who don't understand it. And that system doesn't just target celebrities. It targets everyone. The credit card company that wants you to carry a balance. The car dealership that wants you to finance for 7 years. The lifestyle influencer telling you that you deserve that vacation you can't afford. It's all the same trap, just at different scales. The only way to win is to understand the game. Understand that your gross income doesn't matter. Your net income does. Understand that your current income won't last forever. Understand that lifestyle inflation will destroy you faster than any market crash ever could. And most importantly, understand that being rich and staying rich are two completely different skills. Making money is about talent, work, and often luck. Keeping money is about discipline, knowledge, and saying no to everything that doesn't serve your long-term financial security. That's the difference between the celebrity who makes $50 million and loses it all, and the one who makes $50 million and turns it into generational wealth. Now you know. Don't be the first one. If this video changed how you think about money, hit that like button and subscribe because I make videos like this every week breaking down the financial systems that nobody else wants to explain. And if you want to go deeper, check out my video on why lottery winners go broke. It's the same psychological traps, different dollar amounts. Stay smart with your money. I'll see you in the next one.